Yes, 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 yes. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, yes. Good morning, ladies. Welcome, welcome. We're doing it. Yes. There we go. Welcome. There they are. Woohoo! Why does it feel like it's springtime or we've been away all summer or something? I'm guessing that Sarah and some of the others of you are still drenched in snow. Thank you for holding that down. Those of us downhill are getting lots of rain and lots of green stuff. It is like really incredible here in Santa Cruz. Welcome, welcome to February and our client engagement and group program call. This isn't a really exciting call, and it's also jam-packed with information that is going to help you if your strategy is one client at a time to fill your group practice, or it's a group program. The strategies today are going to help you do that. So please make sure that your windows and doors are closed, your screens are closed, your phone is off, and make sure you have lots of scratch paper. Because what might be helpful for you today is to do a plan and strategy for right now, and a plan and strategy to grow into if developing a group program is something that you want. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As women are jumping on the line, I just wanted to tell you a quick story about engagement because it really, 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 really matters. Last week, I got approached to do 2 different radio shows, and I said yes to both. And there was a distinct difference between what each radio host did to get me on the show. So the first lady, as soon as I said yes, she sent me her web link, she sent me a welcome and thank you. And she sent me a questionnaire that had 5 questions on it. And they were basically questions that I wanted her to ask me and showing me, so I got to answer those. And then also in that questionnaire, she shared with me what her show was about, the crux of what her message is. So when I answered her what questions she should ask me, I could relate my group program with hers. It helped me feel so comfortable and confident. She then went on to thank me for that. She sent me multiple reminders of where the Zoom link was, what time I was going to be on, what I should expect. I ended up feeling like I was going to be in a radio interview with her, and she was going to do everything she could to make me look good and feel comfortable. So I was a hell yes to it. I even rearranged my schedule because I had a client booked at that time. Now the second radio host did something different. She chatted me up on Facebook. Then she sent me an email months ago and never followed up. So even though I had the second radio interview on my calendar, as it got closer and closer, I had to research her and her group program, and I started getting cold feet because I didn't see the link between what she was doing and what I was doing. She didn't ask me for any questions. She didn't do anything basically to engage me into feeling comfortable about that radio program. So when I reached out to her, she wanted to call me. She wanted to make a time to chat. And I honestly didn't have time for that. So what I ended up doing is canceling the second radio interview because it just didn't feel like a good match. I'm sharing this with you today to just reinforce that when you're reaching out to anyone, a potential client, an affiliate partner, you're following up with a venue, that kind of engagement and how you share what you're up to and how it relates to what the person is up to is going to create a relationship of why would we get in this together? And it's super key because everyone is really busy, especially if you're in internet marketing, you're starting a business, right? We're all really busy. We want to know what is the thing that makes our relationship strong so it's a win-win situation for both of us. So I share that story with you as a prelude to what we're up to today around getting our clients engaged and how can we turn the engagement with one client into a group program, into sustainable income that happens year after year. And I'm going to share more with you about how I did that with my storytelling group. But before we do that, I want to introduce my wing woman, Claire Cui, who is going to bring us in on some really important announcements before we get started. Do I need to make you a co-host? I bet I do. Welcome, Claire.
Hi ladies. Hi Serena. Hi ladies. So good to see you. It's a snowy day here in Colorado, and I have some great announcements to warm us up. So we have Women Rocking Business Live coming up, and for you on the call, we have a breakfast, and that's going to be a breakfast on March 18th, and we also have a client-only dinner, which means you, on March 19th. And we only have a few RSVPs right now, so make sure to email support@SageLevine to save your seat. On that special March 18th client-only breakfast, it's going to be a breakfast with coaches like Serena, Shannon, myself, self-guided mastermind with your tribe sisters as well. So prepare for that amazing client experience and have breakfast with us. And we want you to maximize your learning through the event. So get landed with us at that breakfast. And all the details for that breakfast and the client-only dinner are on the events membership tab in your forum. And you also have email. So just make a plan to travel in the day before, right? Get landed on the 17th to be there for the 18th. And then the live event is again on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. And you want to make sure you RSVP for the dinner. So all the details to that is in your events tab. And we also have a couple of spots available for staffing on the volunteer team, right? This is a great opportunity to get a taste of what it's like to be and run an event. So volunteering is just an incredible ability to see what it's really like to hold an event like that behind the scenes. There's team bonding, your meals are covered, and it's a great commitment to show up there. And one last little one but the deadline for your VIP meal pass for your client-only rate, it's $147, was January 30th. So if you happen to miss that, you can email support again, and we can see about getting you in. So all the details, any detail that you need for the client dinner, the client breakfast, if you want to be a volunteer, if you want to get that VIP meal pass, it's all in your events tab.
Events tab, events tab. Thank you, Claire. Big kiss for you. Mwah. You want to give some other kisses out today? You guys ready to do some kissing? Yeah? Okay, good. Because it's been an astounding week on the Facebook page, I just have to say. It looks like the Christmas haze is over, and you ladies are starting to get some shit done. So I just want to acknowledge and give a kiss out to Sarah Coolidge for your rocking video and calling people to action in baby steps for the Bring a Friend contest. But more than that, Sarah, you can use that with your own clients. Super stellar. Let's give Sarah a kiss. Showing up. Yeah, there you go. Way to receive. Jill, mastery in enrollment. Wow, you were just opening up. Not only do you have 4 women coming for Bring a Friend, but you opened for one of your leverage sisters. Update, she says. Excellent, big kiss to you. Mwah. Lisa Gillette, holy shit, 18 discovery sessions. Where are you? Oh yes, big kiss for you. Mwah. When it rains, it pours. Love it. Sherry, you got your first paying client. Are you with us here, Sherry? Big virtual kiss to you, Sherry. There you are, first paying client. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Well done. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm sorry. Lia. How do I say your name? Are you on the call? Leah, you're from, I think, Denmark or Sweden. You got your first paying client. You put your first woman in your program. I'm sorry. Congratulations. Big kiss to you. Women are popping. This is amazing. Catherine, where are you on the call today? Catherine Fosse, you continue to show up for your sisters. She shared such a big love letter for Kia and showed up as her wing woman and continued to stunningly show up. Look at Kia holding her heart. She's like, yeah, Catherine Fosse's the bomb. Big love kiss for her. And last but not least, Corey. I want to, Corey Nelson, want to give a big shout out to you for your big vulnerable share and what you've been working through in your turnaround and reaching out to your coach for support. Big kiss for you. So let's unmute the lines on 3 and just give everyone a wahoo. And for anyone that I missed that's having a celebration or a breakthrough, let's hear it for them. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wahoo!
Good job, good job.
Yes, ladies.
Go, ladies.
Yes. Welcome to the call. Engagement. How do we stay engaged? One thing we got to do is breathe. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm drinking from the fire hose this morning because I have so much content for you to share. And what excites me about the content of client engagement moving towards group programs is that I know firsthand it's totally possible. When I first started my business, I was gathering clients one at a time, but I knew I needed to work with a group because group energy was something that I was used to as a school teacher. I was used to managing groups and moving them and using their energy to have breakthroughs. And so I knew I wanted a group program. And I started one with 8, and I moved all the way up to 14. And I've done it 5 seasons in a row. That sustainable income, that is what I have to look forward to every season, is that group. And there's a strategy to be able to fill that group, which is what we're going to talk about today. Because groups just don't happen overnight. They don't just pop up. They don't just all show up at our door, unfortunately, and be like, hey, come teach us. We need to go out and meet and greet them and create sustainable relationships with them. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So one of our main teaching, our main templates today is launching a group program, which is in your forum. We're going to be going over that today. So if you have that up or out, that'll be really helpful for you to take notes. Because what we recommend for most of you is to start with a handful of private clients first in your chosen niche. So if you're hot to lead a group, great. We still are encouraging you to start with private clients, because when you get private clients together, you can run your program. You can run the glitches out of it. You can get testimonials and see real results that you can use to allure and engage your groups. Now, what you can also do is if you have a handful of clients already, say you have even 4 private clients, you can offer them a bonus call, and that can be the group program. You can let them know, I've got 3 other clients who are learning the same things as you. And what I've seen is when like-minded people get together, there's an energy that helps transformation happen at another level. And so I'm going to offer one group bonus call. And you can put all of those people together and design a group exercise that helps them, right, feel like they're not alone in their transformation. Now, again, in your forum, you have breakthrough exercises there that Sage has shared with you some of her favorite ones, and so you don't have to think those all up all yourself. I've got so many screens open today. Now, how do you fill a group program? How do you get all those people just funneling towards you? Funnels. That's how you do it. Funnels is an industry word, right? Of just imagining this big opening where people are coming towards you. Now, the good news is once you create a funnel, you can keep using it over and over again. For example, your free gift on your landing page is a funnel. It's an opening for people to come through and receive a free gift, a free taste of what it's like to work with you. Once you have your free gift up, it can be used again and again and again. So once you set up some funnels, you don't have to rework them. Another funnel, right? Another opening is your free talks, your 2-hour, hour and 45-minute free talk where you open yourself up to give content and ask questions. It's another way people can find you. Now, those have to be done over and over again, but the script that you use, the content you use, the story that you use, again, is recyclable. It can be used over and over again. And this is really key, ladies, because most of us need at least 5 funnels, which can, to me, can feel overwhelming. I'm like, oh my God, I'll never be able to dance again. I'll just be doing funnels all the time. It's not true. Some funnels, like your free gifts, you put them up once, you can use that one for 5 years, 3 years of your business. Your signature story could be used over and over again. But without the diversity of more than one funnel, you suffer the problem of not having enough people to talk to actually put in your group program. And we're going to crunch some numbers on that so you can see what that looks like realistically. Because to fill a group program, what you need is you need engagement. So let's talk about, let's just review, ladies, some of the funnels to include. Number 1, your speaking engagement. To a group that you create, that you market yourself. Number 2, a speaking engagement to someone else's group. Less marketing, less creation, same talk. Number 3, a video online or a Facebook with a call to action for your discovery session. Again, you're not recreating the discovery session, same thing you offered in your speaking engagement, but now you're doing a video online or you're doing a call to action on Facebook. That script, that script for your video, your Facebook, can be pulled out of your signature talk. Don't recreate the wheel. One message is what you have. Number 4 funnel, a mini Facebook challenge where you go live for 3 days in a row. You can use content from your signature talk. You can use content from your group program and a clear call to action to take you up on a discovery session. Number 5, a podcast, a radio interview where you're talking about your work and you're directing people towards your free gift, your discovery session. Now, I want to also review quickly, that's the way you would get private clients. That's also the way you would fill a group program, getting out there, getting out there. Now, obviously, if you're looking for one private client, it's different than if you're trying to fill a group program where you want 14 people in your program. You're going to have to up your game and get more visible. So what do? Here's some other ideas. Hold on, let me close that window. We've talked about this before, so this is kind of a review, right? 6 speaking engagements locally within 6 weeks. Local healing center, local chiropractor, spa, bookstore, where you are getting all of those venues to help you promote, right? So it's not just speaking, it's getting all those affiliate partnerships to help you get the word out because you want people in the room to talk to. So here's the pitfall, right, ladies? If you are doing signature talks and you don't have any affiliate partners and your venues aren't promoting and you're like, my signature talks are going to fill my practice or my group program, that is just one funnel. It's a lot of work for just one funnel. And if you don't get the results, if you're not pulling in 4 to 20 people into those signature talks, you're not going to be able to fill your group program. So that's why we're talking about 5 funnels and diversity so that you're really getting yourself more visible. Keep pushing that button. Now, let's talk about realistic goals because I've talked to a lot of clients who, right, they want a group program, they want 20 people in it because when they crunch the numbers, they're like, that's $10,000 and that's what I want. You can have that. And this is what you're going to need. You're going to need 5 to 10 discovery sessions per speaking engagement, right? So just do the math. You have 6 talks. You have 5 to 10 discovery sessions. As a result of that, you enroll 2 to 5 new clients per talk. That will land you in 8 to 10 clients in a group program. Look at the math on that. Now, what's true is for many of you who are enrolling one client at a time right now and building your practice, that these funnels can help that and then can help move you towards your group goal. And what we want to remind you is it's easy to forget that keeping a client is easier than finding a new one, right? If you have a private client already, it's easier to hold on to them and put them into a group program than have a private client, bless them off, and then go find someone else to jump into your group program, because your private one-on-one paying clients already trust you and have gotten some results. And so re-enrolling them into a group program is really a lot easier. Sage calls it foreplay, right? When we get one private client and we get results with them, it's like dating. Now you might want to get married or get engaged for 6 months. Put them in a group program that lasts longer. These are really important steps not to overstep in building that program, because these clients don't come out of nowhere. This group program doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from trust and actually working with a group. So one of the ways I filled my group program was I was speaking in my local community for years. I was doing events. I was talking at other people's events. I started speaking at Sage's event. So people knew me as a storyteller. For many of you, you haven't really stepped out in your local community and talked everywhere you can. Become really visible that this is what you're devoting your life to, whether it's well-being, whether it's helping people through miscarriage, whether it's helping people lose weight. Like, really to get visible, like, this is what I do. That can't be underestimated, what that kind of buzz can be like for when you offer your signature talk, right? Because lots of people saw me telling stories all over and they wanted more of me, but they didn't know how to get more of me. So when I finally gave a signature talk, they're like, oh, more of Serena for free. Let me go see what she's up to. And that's where I could make an offer. So getting visible in your local community, ladies, is one of the prime ways to get that kind of visibility. So let's talk about something called context versus content, because this is really important. Context matters 10 times more than content, because what people are really wanting in a group program is a container and a structure where they can have an experience. If they really wanted content, they would read a book, right? They would do their own self-study. They're really wanting to be held in an experience. And a lot of you might be wondering how to enroll new clients in a group when there's no group yet. How do I help someone feel safe to enroll when they're hoping for a giant community, but I don't have one yet? That's why we recommend you start putting all your private clients in a group. Then you don't have the pressure to fill a whole group when you're just starting. However, when you're ready to fill a group, the deadline can often be something that helps get you really motivated, right? So if you have a small bunch of private clients, but you want a group program by summer or by fall, that's your deadline. That's really helpful. If you want 6 people in that program and you have 4 private clients, you basically need to get your funnels engaged so you can get 2 more and fill that group program in summer. We see women in leverage do this all the time. To fill a group program in the beginning, invite other private clients into the group so you have it going. You might even invite a colleague or put someone in that first group program at a scholarship level to get more participants. Also help them see the value of having a smaller group because they get more attention. Making sense? Awesome. More isn't better. We can often overwhelm our clients with more content than is absolutely necessary. Meet them where they're at as best as you can, and then lead them forward. Always congratulate them with a really warm welcome, right? Validate your participants' decision to do your course. Don't thank them. We always talk about this. That's about you. Congratulate them. Let your clients know how awesome the community is and that they have a community to lean into, right? Re-enrolling your clients can't be overstated. These are students who have already gone through your program. One of the best things to do with your clients to invite them into re-enrollment is along the way in your private sessions is really to highlight what they've grown through. Remind them what they've gotten through. It might be at the end of the session when you ask them what their takeaways for this session, and you show them what they're accomplishing. We often forget ourselves what we have actually overcome. And as coaches, we need to keep tracking what our clients are moving through and what they've accomplished so that we can let them know that there's more for them. They may have gone through giant hurdles in their relationship with money, but they're still not making the kind of money they wanted to. But because they got through those first few hurdles, they can get through the other ones. So really make sure that you validate your clients for what they have come through and what they have left to come through. That keeps their willpower, it develops confidence. When we show them what they've come through, what their next step is, they can step into inspired action. And what we really want to encourage all of you to do in your group programs is to introduce one or two things at a time. When we fill our group programs with lots of ideas and lots of things to do, our clients end up having too many choices. They don't know what's the one inspired action step they should take. They're not really clear of all the things that you suggested they do, which one they should actually implement. So in a group program, you want to keep it 1 to 2 action steps. Really teach that out for them so it's very clear for them. And in a group, you have so many personalities and so many different histories and so many different temperaments that if you introduce a lot of things, you're going to have a lot of tracking to do with your clients. Which way are they going? What have they done with that? Why aren't they doing it? So as a trainer or a facilitator of a group, keep it simple. 1 or 2 things. What I find really helpful is when you start each session by letting your clients know where they are on the map, the blueprint, the orientation. I also find it's really helpful when I start my group program, like I let them know this is what we're up to today. This is where we are in the bigger scheme of our journey. And after a few sessions, I often review all the things that we learned. So my group program started in November. I laid out the big map and the big arc of what we were up to. I taught November, December, then we had a huge break and we came back in January. People were in the holiday haze and disoriented. So I started in January by reviewing everything we'd learned since November. I watched women in my group go, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah. Confidence, everyone's on the same page. We're in January. And then I laid out what's going to happen January through February. The next couple months, this is just what we're up to. They felt safe, contained, and held through February. Now in February, my program goes till May still. So I'm going to do that again in February. I'm going to review the last 2 months. We've accomplished X, Y, and Z. Now, February through May, this is what's next. I'm pacing them out. And I, as a facilitator, are holding the grand view and the checkpoints that they need to get through in order to get what they came for at the end. You can also apply this strategy to your private clients, because it often gets more noodly with your private clients, right? Because you have a curriculum and then they go, and there's not a group to hold them. They're not looking around being like, oh God, everyone else is struggling with their niche. That's okay. Everyone else is struggling with that. It's okay, right? They're just in their own thing being like, you know, I can't do this because I don't know what my niche is. So it's your job as a coach and facilitator to help hold the bigger view, but chunk it out so they know where they're on the map or the blueprint that you're teaching them. And that helps them feel held, and it develops confidence within themselves and with you. Now, what's true also is that we co-create our programs with our clients. This happens a lot because what we think they need or what we think they want often doesn't match. So here's some key questions to continue to ask your clients over and over. How do you feel best supported? How do you best receive feedback? These are vulnerable questions for your clients to answer, but it will help you see how to work with them. So that if your sessions or your groups are starting to veer in territory either that you don't cover or that's not going to help them get to the end result, you can have from their mouth how they feel best supported and how best to give them feedback. Ask them what helps them be vulnerable and let them know the more vulnerable they are, the more they'll get out of your time together. Teach them to pause when they get lost. Even if you're teaching and your clients are lost, teach them that they can pause you and ask for clarification. Give them permission to be curious, ask questions, and also give them permission to shine and brag in your presence so that they can be more comfortable owning their accomplishments. You notice we do this as a regular basis in this program, right? We brag about you. We, like at the beginning of this call, celebrating you guys on the Facebook page, and then we ask you to brag. Because one of the things about working with clients in a group program is you really want each of your clients in your program to be developing self-confidence and the feeling like they are actually doing it with your support, as opposed to you doing it for them. That is a highway to burnout. Taking over responsibility for your clients' results, right? Your clients' results are based on their willingness to take 100% responsibility for themselves, including when they get lost and they get stuck. How do they get out of that? It's really, really key, ladies. And your job is to take 100% responsibility for your job. When those 200% meet, there's a triangle effect. And you're supporting each other as opposed to leaning over and caretaking. And again, you'll need to remind your clients, and one of the ways you can do that is get them to brag about themselves. One of my favorite questions is, what are you most proud of? You can ask them that at the end of a session, an end of a section, end of something they've just completed, a module. What are you most proud of? And then track that and remind them of that when they forget, when they're like, I'm so lost, I can't do this. Really? Last month, you told me you were most proud of your 2 new clients. You had never done that before. Mirroring back what our clients are capable of helps them keep investing in themselves and stay with you because you are the one that are holding them for those results. Now, what's also true in group programs with our clients is that our clients are resistant to change. They're resistant to showing up. They're resistant to being vulnerable. They're resistant to being coached. They're resistant to doing the things they want to do. Raise your hand if you have any clients like that who are resistant. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Raise your other hand if it's you too. If you're resistant. Yeah. Human beings are resistant to change. It's just in the fabric of us. I would guess rabbits and coyotes are too, but I haven't been able to get firm confirmation. But as it's raining like hell, I'm like, does the rabbit move out of its little hovel and start building a new house in the middle of the rain? Or does that rabbit just hunker down in that wet little hovel and be like, it's going to be fine, the rain's going to stop soon? I don't know. But for human beings, it's true. So how do we break our clients out of that resistance without going at them like this? Right? Because nobody wants to be forced to grow. We all know that when change and growth happens in our life and it comes quickly, we feel forced, and that feels really tense. We don't want to create that relationship with our clients. So one of the best ways to do it is to play. Play, play, play. And what we call it at Women Rockin' Business is gamify. How can we gamify and bring out our natural playfulness as human beings so then all of a sudden our resistance doesn't seem so intense? How can you gamify your programs? Consider some of the games Sage has set up for ELA this year, like the transformation game, where we got you all having discovery sessions and booking signature talks, right? How about the fire walk, the angel line, being on the beach together? Sage just took her leverage clients to Hawaii, for example, where they bonded and they had an experience where they'll never forget. And they're likely, many of them are coming back together year after year. Gamifying is another way of creating an experience that your clients wouldn't normally have. So as you're watching us do the Bring a Friend contest game, right? One of the things that we're offering to you is this group experience where you can come a day early and have this tribe feeling with the other women in ELA. And we're really putting all of our efforts into pulling you forward into that experience, tricking you into having more experience in enrollment conversations. Because we know that we're all resistant to that enrollment conversation. We're all resistant to it. And we know that if we can get you to have more enrollment conversations on our behalf, it will benefit your business as a ripple effect. We see it happen every year. Play, ladies. I give my clients chocolate. That's one of my favorite things to do. I reward them with chocolate. I hold it out like a carrot. I don't ever give it to them at the beginning of our sessions when we sit down. They don't get it until after we do our group exercise where I've got them sweaty and they've like given up some vulnerability and presence. Then I give them some chocolate. Whatever it is that you love to do, that you love to give, is a great way to combine that with gamification. Creating experience for your clients is key to staying on the edge of the marketing paradigm. We're in a time of information overload. And all of us who are trying to build our businesses via the internet, we need this kind of experiential platform to keep our clients. When clients attend your events or have an experience in their work with you, you set them up to be loyal clients for life. With private clients, you can add a half VIP day or a longer jumpstart session that includes taking your clients out in nature or to a beach, or even just on the phone doing a visualization to give them an experience right off the bat. When I first started my private storytelling business, I did a 4-hour VIP day in addition to all their sessions. And I gave them to that as a bonus of engagement. So if someone was really on the fence, they wanted my story coaching, but they felt like they were really in the soup and they weren't really sure, but they really wanted to spend time with me getting clear, I offered them a 4-hour VIP session. And it was over the phone, where we talk about all the components of their life and their history. It was really effective to create that connection. I also want to share that 4 hours was way too long. especially with storytelling, because they went in and out and in and out, and it was spaghetti, right? I have found that a VIP day can be whittled down to 2 hours super easy. If your clients are local, consider doing that in person, right? That experience of sitting across face to face as they're actually sharing with you where they're at, what they struggled through. Maybe they're sharing with you things that they've never shared with anyone ever before. To have your eyes and your breath in the same room with them can really create loyalty. They're like, this person heard me. We're in a culture where we're desperately needing to be heard and seen and felt. And this can really engage clients and keep them with you long after your program is over. So what do you do if your clients, you have a lot of clients, right? Your group program is 14. And you want to assess where they're at. Like, are they following along? Are they getting the results that you're hoping they can get? How do you know if you're halfway through your program and your clients aren't silently failing, but no one's talking to you about it because they don't speak up? This can happen in groups of women a lot because as a culture, women are taught not to speak up or question authority. So oftentimes we'll have clients that are sort of silently being like, yeah, it's okay, I got it, I'm going to get to that. But they're actually afraid to reach out for help. So one of the important things that you can do halfway through your program is do some kind of measuring of where they are along in their journey, a kind of assessment to see if they are getting close to their goals. Now you can do this virtually. You can send it to an email, right? You can do this as a group. You can ask them. But what we find is when you do this kind of assessment somewhere in your program where they can write it out, that oftentimes people will divulge more. One of the questions that you should definitely ask in that assessment is, what were you hoping to get from this program that you haven't gotten already? What were you hoping to get from this program that you haven't gotten already? If you don't want to do an assessment, if that's not something what you're up to, this question you could ask at the end of one of your sessions, somewhere in the middle of your program. Because you really, remember, you're really wanting to tune in. Is your client getting what they need to reach their goals? And you want to hear it from them. That will also really help you continue to refine your marketable program. Because if you're taking these assessments and you're asking your clients this along the way, and then you're giving that thing to them that they want, and they're getting the results that they said they want, all of that is going to help you refine your group program. These assessments are really key. And also, ladies, not everyone's going to tell you the truth. Just know that. Last year, I did a group assessment. I asked all my clients what I'm sharing with you, and they asked for some things, but they mostly were shining on my program. At the end of the program, I did another assessment at the end, and I got way more critical feedback about the program. This is normal. I have to say, I was afraid of getting critical feedback from my program. It doesn't feel good. I poured my heart and soul into the universe, and I didn't want a ton of critical feedback at the end when I was tired and I'd given everything. So I had my assistant sit with me to feel that information. And in time, I've been able to implement it. So I just want to prepare you ladies for both. People are going to shine on your program and people are going to offer you constructive criticism. Both is going to happen. And as a leader and as a coach and a guide, you will be challenged to develop this space to hear all that your clients have to share with you, and both will make your program stronger. That's what I have to say about that. So let's teach our clients what success looks like. When you teach your clients from the start what they need to do to make this a wildly successful course for them, then you're setting them up for success. Remind them of things like print out your handouts, put them in a binder, be prepared for calls, don't miss a call, don't multitask. Remind them that their success is dependent on the environment that they create. These are all things you can do when you welcome them into your program. Set them up for success. If you're a wellness coach and you know that losing weight or getting off meds is going to be really challenging, and you know that everyone falls short because they don't get enough support in the dark hours of the night when their cravings are the highest or when their pain is the most excruciating, let them know that at the beginning of the program, that you're totally there for them and they're going to need extra support to call someone in the middle of the night because you see your clients struggle with that. Let them know, set them up for the kind of support that they need. That kind of honesty is going to get your clients to lean in and get support. And it's going to help them lean into you because they're going to feel that you know the challenges that are coming up and you're not blind to that. Now, since we are dealing with a lot of resistance to change, one of the key tools that we can use with our clients is to remind them of their big why. Bring them back to their big why often. And show them how the baby steps they're taking are getting them closer to their big why, even if they haven't attained it yet. And if you're noticing, you're going to have to track your clients carefully, right? You need to know what their big why is. Why are they sweating through all of this anyway? And sometimes you may even have to ask them to reimagine their big why. Share with them what their big why is and then ask them, is this still current? If you were to reimagine your big why today in full Technicolor, describe it to me. If their big why was to go to Cuba and go dancing, right? And they didn't think they could do it, you might ask them, what's your favorite salsa music? Are you still dancing? Do you still want to go to Cuba? What would that feel like? Have them paint it out for you. This is super key, ladies. This goes back to being a visionary for our clients and holding them to their vision. Because visions don't just happen. It's baby steps, like Sarah Cooley said, baby steps towards our vision. One of my mentors used to say, slow change is permanent change. We all want the quick, like, but honestly, we couldn't sustain it. We slowly change and expand to actually hold our big why. So orienting your clients back to their big why is super helpful, not for their clients, but probably for you too. When we help our clients anticipate challenges and keep their eye on their big why, you can ask them questions like, what might stop you from completing this program? And what step will you do today to keep that from happening? I'm going to say that again. What might stop you from completing this program? And what step will you take to keep that from happening? I ask these questions at the very beginning when I interview people for the universe. I ask them straight off the bat, what would stop you from doing this? Because excuses are what stop us from doing everything. I can't because time, money, energy. Now, it's not an excuse if someone's sick, right? It's not an excuse if someone has huge financial a huge financial surprise, those aren't excuses. That's like real life. So the follow-up question, what are you going to do so this doesn't stop you, is putting them into pro-action. And when you know the things that stop your clients over and over again, especially like many of you who work with moms, like the things that are going to stop your clients are anything to do with their children, which is everything. Their homework, their sickness, their social drama, all of it. That's what's going to stop them. So getting really clear on those things and how they are going to proactively not let their family and their children swipe them off their feet. Helping your clients anticipate challenges is a way to keep your groups moving in a good way. Now, everybody learns really differently. So in a group program, that's really challenging. Some people are auditory. They hear things, they get it. Other people hear things and they just go right over their head unless there's a picture of it. And if you notice in ELA and our trainings, we use everything we can. You have handouts. We ask you to engage with those handouts. You have slides. We send you the slides. We put you into group exercises. And then we have you come back and share as a group often. I think the only thing we don't do in ELA is art projects. But in the truth, your business is your art project, right? We send you off, we're like, go create it, color it up, add your personal flair to it, get in there and get messy. Those are all different learning styles. And in a group program, you have people that learn in very different ways in yourself as well. And so you want to create material and content that addresses all the different learning styles to keep them engaged. And provide accountability when you give them those tasks. You will have to push or challenge your clients to do things that are scary and create a structure that holds them to bold action. Because people want to be pulled forward and out of their comfort zone by mentors. That's why they've come to you. Growth is uncomfortable. Baby birds don't go out of the nest because they know how to fly. They jump. Oftentimes, their brothers and sisters or their mom pushes them out of the nest. We all hope, right, that when we finally open our wings that there's feathers and we'll fly. But we need that nudge to get out of the nest, and we have to do that with our clients as well. Notice where they're comfortable and keep asking them, what is it that's going to pull you forward and out of that nest to take your flight? Super key. I love using nature metaphors because to me it just makes so much sense that we're not outside of nature. Our businesses aren't outside of nature. The way the universe works for our business. And in that community metaphor, it's important to take time to create community. So if we're pulling our clients forward and they're in a group and they're seeing other fledglings fly out of the nest, what's going to occur to them is they could potentially do it too. They could be that courageous. They could be that risky. This is why in many ways, a group program creates a field of success. Because when you see someone else do something that's possible, it can happen for you too. Like I watch it happen in ELA, and it's happening right now, right? One person gets a paying client, the next person gets a paying client, and that one person brings someone to bring a friend, another one. It starts because that's exciting. When you see someone flying, you want to fly with them too. And if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. So I'm going to ask you all to unmute the lines when I count to 3 and say, if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Unmute yourselves.
If it's possible for them, it's possible for me. If it is possible for them, it is possible for me.
That's right.
Yes,
Woohoo.
Yeah, yeah. Woo-hoo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I needed that. That was good. Client engagement. There it is, ladies. Simple as that. Setting this tone in your community is super helpful because community sticks. You can't sell community in a group program, but it's what helps keep people together. Now, essential for group programs is consciously creating community. Having assignments where people have to get together, right? In ELA, one of the things we do is we assign buddies, right? And we keep encouraging you to have a buddy, to have people to hold people accountable so that you're not the only one holding your group accountable. This is huge. Getting people to connect, huge, huge, huge. In my, clean up the lines there. In my group program and in this group program, having your buddies is huge. Some buddyships in ELA last for years after the program is over, right? Again, it's that pack mentality. In your group programs, if you create a pack mentality and engagement, you will have a synergy in your group that will not only carry the group, but it'll carry you forth as a leader. And that tone in your group can be carried over and supported by your face group page. Now, having a face group page, a private face group page, is a great place to have another forum for all your participants to keep in touch, and stay positive, and get support. And what's really key about your Facebook group is that you stay on top of it. You may have your assistant stay on top of it. I have my assistant help me so that things stay positive, okay? Now, vulnerability is positive. When we share from a deep place that it's not going well, it's an opportunity for us to recommit, and it brings people together. But what you really want to look out for is that people aren't complaining. People aren't venting on the Facebook page. People aren't using it as a place for solicitation. Things that pull the energy from the task at hand. So remind them. For every 3 posts, for every ask that they make, or for every vulnerable share, that they post 3 on someone else. So they're not only asking, right? They're also giving. And that way you can create a really beautiful synergy on the Facebook page. What do you do if that doesn't happen? Has anybody had that on their group page where people are soliciting or complaining or dogging people out? Awesome. It probably means that it will happen in the future. So let me future pace you. Because we're humans and we get angry and we get frustrated and we do stuff like that at 2 in the morning. We're like, this program sucks. Or I suck, I can't, right, whatever. So don't hesitate to pull those comments off the page immediately. What did I say? Immediately. What's going to get in the way is you're going to want to be nice. And then you might comment on that, and then you're going to have a whole conversation that the whole group is witnessing. Don't do that. If someone has fallen outside of the guidelines on your private Facebook group or your Facebook group in general, pull them to the side and have a private conversation with them and outline, reinstate the guidelines super clearly. And guess how many chances they get to course correct? 1. This is their chance. They either get back on board with being positive, vulnerable, taking responsibility, or they're no longer welcome on your page. This clarity is super key. I had this scenario happen in my private Facebook group, and Sage kept coaching me, take them off, and I couldn't do it. I'm like, I can't. I had spaghetti, months of spaghetti with clients. This year, I don't have that problem because they get one time to course correct, that this is what we do on the Facebook page. If you need other support, reach out. And it's been so much less consuming and safer. I got all emotional on that. I could feel that. I've been through so much in my group program. I can't even tell you, more than I ever thought I would go through on what it means not only to be really directive about what we're doing, but also really spacious. Because in a group program, you don't really know what people are bringing. You don't know their whole history. You don't know the traumas they've been through. You don't know what motivates them. So it's a big learning curve for you as a leader to actually stay attuned to the group. And that's where the expansion comes. And I remember when I got my first program, all I could think of was like, oh my God, I have 14 new relationships. Like, how? I'm in bed with 14 new people. This is insane, right? But what I want to say is that there are patterns in humanity. And what I've seen over the 6 years of training, not only my private group program, but ELA, is that there's patterns. We as human beings move in similar circles, right? I like to talk about the wet ones and the hot ones a lot. Because under pressure, some people get really emotional and they cry a lot, right? That's just the way they roll. And they cry a lot. And I just come to notice that that's how they roll. And I expect them to cry and I don't fix them at all. That's part of their process. The hot ones, oh, wow. They're really fiery. They speak really big. They have really strong voices. They have strong opinions about things. They like things. They don't. They ask questions. Some people roll like that when they're under pressure. I've learned to take that not personally and not get scared. I'm like, that's just how they roll. There's the ones that are always trying to be nice. You ask them how they're doing and they say it's great. How I like the program. It's wonderful. Do you need anything? No. Do you need anything? The nice ones. I love the nice ones. I used to think like, okay, I don't have to worry about them. That's not true. Worry about them the most. Because they're over there quietly pretending that everything's good, and they're human and they're having their own growth spurts as well. I talk to those ones the most. I'm like, so how's it really going? These patterns of personality will show up in your group. And the ones that will often be the most challenging are the personalities that emulate your parents. So anyone that has behavior or learning styles like your mom or dad, they'll be hard for you, for reals. The ones that are exactly like you, you'll either love them or hate them, or often go back and forth. I love them, I hate them, I love them, I hate them, I love them, I hate them. But if you stay attuned to the fact, attuned and compassionate for the one in you that's learning how to hold multiple personalities, multiple learning styles, you stay attuned to the learning curve, you will expand along with your groups. I had to lead many groups before I was able to hold a group of 100. It still intimidates me when I get on these calls. I'm like, there's so many people. How will I touch them all? Well, we do our best. And we return again and again that not only are our clients human and go through patterns and waves, so do we. Some days I show up my strongest. Some days I don't. Some days I show up really, really humble. Some days I'm on fire. It all happens because we're human beings. And as a group facilitator, you take 100% responsibility for yourself, and your clients get to take 100% responsibility for them, especially if they're adults, which most of you are working with. You're not working with kids. Now, even though they're adults and they can do all the things adults do, they will still forget all kinds of things. So assume that your clients are very busy and they will forget when they're supposed to meet with you, how much they're supposed to pay you, and what they were supposed to do before they get on the call with you. Just assume it. That way you don't have to make them wrong when they forget. Take that whole thing out. the more you can remind your clients when the calls are, when the trainings are, when their money is due, all of those good kinds of things, then you're helping them, again, succeed. If you wait till they forget those things, or they forget on a call, they forget a call, or they forget their homework, then you're setting like a pattern up that they're not capable. And that's not what you want to do. So make sure that you're really clear about reminding them and sending them reminders before. Whoa. So what happens when you get through your group program and your client has been with you 6 weeks, 3 months, a year? We call this low-hanging fruit. Now just imagine you've planted a tree in your backyard and you've attended to it, and the tree has grown up and it's blossomed and it keeps growing. You keep watering it, you keep attending it, the blossoms turn to fruit, and the entire tree is full of fruit. But you don't have a ladder. What fruit would you pick first? That's right, Samara, the low-hanging fruit. You would reach up and grab just the ones that you could reach first before you got hungry enough to build yourself a ladder. So what we're suggesting with low-hanging fruit is the clients that work with you either privately or in your first group program, those are your low-hanging fruit. Reach up and offer them something new to continue with them. To continue with you. Because what they've already done is they've gained trust, they've gotten some results, and you know them. If you've been doing all the tracking that I laid out for you on this call, tracking about where they get stuck, what their big why is, what pulls them forward, what's their learning style, what do they want more of? If you've been tracking them like that, you know them really well. And that's super valuable. So at the end of your group program, one of the things you can do to create more sustainable income for yourself and greater results for your clients is to re-enroll them. Offer them the next step. What if you don't know what the next step is? What if you've helped a client, they're like, okay, I'm all good. You're like, but wait, and enroll them in what? Consider before your group program is over, that assessment that you asked them, that you gave them, what more do they want in the program? Go back to that. Go back to the thing that they wanted that they either didn't get or your program didn't promise, or some idea that they have that you never thought of. And you're like, wow, they want that. And then offer that to them. So for example, my group program ends with a public performance where we share our true life stories in public. That's the end of our program. And I've gotten feedback that the women want to go on and keep working with me, but I'm not going to do more performances. I'm like, what am I going to do with them? So I asked them, what do you want me to do with you? And they all said, and the feedback has been very clear. They want to continue the community, they want to continue support, and they want to develop the next chapter of their life that they don't know what it is yet. So they want a container to explore that. And they need someone to facilitate that. I was like, that's it? I mean, that's almost too easy compared to what I just did with them. I don't expect it to continue to be that easy once I get involved. But this year, my program is moving from 7 months to 10 months. That's low-hanging fruit. For 2 years, I've been trying to think of what's the second year program for me. What's this? It's just 3 more months. I'm like, wow, that's easy. I don't have to create a bunch of content. That's low-hanging fruit, ladies. Now, I don't know what those extra 3 months are going to bring, if they'll be satisfying for me, if they'll get the results my clients want. But I'm going to reach for that, create something for that, and then see how it goes. And that has been my whole experience with my group program, ladies. My first group program for storytelling started with 3 months, and it was $400. I had 13 women say yes, which completely blew my mind. My program now is 7 months and it's 2,500. How did that happen? Baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step. I didn't create a new message year after year. I didn't create a new gift year after year. I didn't create a new signature talk year after year. It's the same thing I'm offering, and each year I refine it a little bit. I add to my art project to it, right? I add a few more colors. I add another affiliate partner. I do more signature talks. I keep refining this process. For many of you who do not have enough clients yet, these funnels to create a group program are what you can implement now and keep refining for the next 5 years of your business. I didn't do everything that Sage taught me to do the first year that I was in ELA or the second year. I was completely overwhelmed and still learning how to sell basically my program. And I had all kinds of money issues and deservability issues, like who am I to charge money for a program? I was also struggling financially just to make my ends meet. Like I had a lot that was going on, similar to many of you. So I didn't implement everything. But what I did do is get some funnels in place. I did get my splash page up. I did speak locally. I did speak for other people whenever I could. Anyone invited me to talk, I was there. And I did gather affiliate partners who were promoting me. And every year I refined that process. And that's what's possible for you ladies. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over to the Facebook page and post at the top what 5 funnels are you committed to? Posting. And what I want you to do is go over there before the end of the call and post. What 5 funnels are you committing to creating now? Could be some that you've already created. I'm trying to get this at the top. Let's see if I can do this. Here we go. Because when we commit to doing something and other people see us committing, we're 95% more likely to do it. Because what we're most afraid of as human beings, it's loading, wait for it, wait for it, almost. Dun, 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 dun. Claire, can you see it at the top where you go to Facebook and check for me, please? Yep, thanks, Kia. What we're most afraid of is shame, ladies. Most of us are afraid that other people will see us not doing what we said we would do. So since you all need funnels to get the clients that you love to work with, I want you to go over to the Facebook page before the end of the call and commit to some funnels that you're going to put in place now that are going to carry and build your business for the next 4 to 5 years. Now, we have a bunch of handouts in the forum this month that I want to bring your attention to support you in meeting these goals. And I'm going to pop this one up and do a screen share because I want to show off on how I can do that. See if I can remember how. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, da, da, da. Ha ha. This handout, Launching Your Group Program, is where I was teaching from today. And if you go on this, there are lots and lots of tips for you to use. And you can modify this for your individual for your individual clients. The other thing I want to show you, if you haven't already been there, is what we have in the forum. So I don't know how many of you are actually using the forum. So I'm just going to remind us all, right? I'm reviewing. How do you succeed in ELA? One of the things that you do at the beginning of the month, before the training call, is you go to the month. We're February and client engagement. And here are the handouts. One of the best ways to succeed is to print these handouts out and have them by you during the training calls, so that you can be taking notes, so that you can be posing questions, so that you can be following along. This is key to your success, ladies, because here's what happens, right? After 2 hours of a training call, you probably I used to push yourself away from your computer, like, okay, enough from the fire hose. I need to pee, I need some lunch, and I've got stuff to do. And you may not come back to this information. It's freshest. Your learning is highest 24 hours after you learn something, 7 days after you learn it, and 24 days after you learn it. So if you are actively engaging in these handouts through all the month of February, your learning will be higher. You'll be able to implement more of these strategies and see results in your business. Now, everything on these handouts, ladies, isn't applicable to you and your business right now. So your job is to find out what is applicable. Which breakthrough exercise are you going to use this month or next month in your signature talk? Which piece of client engagement can you use to keep your clients? So you do not have to assimilate all the handouts. But what I am suggesting is that you know what in these handouts you can use now and what ones you want to get to either next month or next year. Because these materials are here for you to build your business, not just this year, but for the next 3 to 5 years. Right? This is like a Bible on not only launching a program. ELA is about not only launching a program, it's about keeping your program sustainable, right? Because the low-hanging fruit for you are the clients who've already worked with you. It's not just catch and release. It's not just serve them, let them go, serve them, let them go, serve them, let them go. It's about keeping them in your realm. So as you grow and you offer more and you become more of an expert, you have loyal customers. I mean, think about it. Think of a store that you frequent on a regular basis, whether it's because they have the food that you like to buy, they make great shoes that last. Like when you find a store or a vendor that has something that is really valuable to you, you go back often and you also suggest your friends go there. Oh my God, they've got the best bananas. They make the best shoes, right? And that's what people are going to be doing for you. Your loyal clients who you serve over and over become your biggest advocates. They can become affiliate partners, but they can also just people keep pointing them towards you. Oh my God, you're suffering with that? She can help you with that. You're suffering with that? She can help you with that. And this is how you can create sustainable business locally, ladies. They still say that word of mouth is one of the best ways to build a business because it's a person advocating for you. From there, you can keep growing. So we're going to do a little stretch break right here before I take some questions. Let's see, how do I do that? Yeah. So let's everyone get our hands above our heads for a 7th inning stretch. And if you can, bend over. My fairy goddaughter left balloons in my office. Yes, get some oxygen in there, ladies. Oh, beautiful. So I'd like to open up the lines for a couple questions about group programs. and hear what you have to say and where you are in a sticking point around building a group program. So Claire, do we have any people on the line today? We have a couple people. We have a couple people on the phone. So I think it's still *2 on the phone if you have a question. And of course, if you're in Zoom, just raise your hand at the top. Where are you struggling with keeping your clients engaged? What are the excuses you hear from your clients over and over of why they can't show up, get the results that they want, return your emails? Samara, welcome to the call. I know, there you go.
Hi.
Hi, you got your hair cut. Looks so cute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I was just with Tammy Brandkamp, and we had on Saturday, and Sarah Coolidge came also. Big shout out. Thank you. We had 22 people for our free chat, and we had 18 of them sign up for discovery sessions.
Woo!
So,
what's the name of your discovery session?
Which is, just wonderful and wonderful. And so part of my question is, Tammy and I have been working on developing what it is we're going to offer to them, although it is still a little bit skeletal. And so in these kind of discovery sessions, would it be more about establishing credibility and kind of listening to their pain points rather than sort of enrolling them just yet, since we don't yet have the program? Or
Great question. Great question. So what's the name of your discovery session?
Reset Your Radiance.
Nice. And who's your ideal client?
A hardworking woman who has not really discovered how to pace herself and have some joy in her life, and who's kind of being run by her shoulds.
Awesome. And what was the name of your talk?
The name of our talk was the 3 Keys to Creating a More Radiant Life. Serenity, wisdom. We took it off the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so we talked about ways to have serenity. Tammy did a wonderful talk on courage, and then I brought in the wisdom within. And so we were kind of pitching them with 3 different energies: serenity, wisdom, and courage.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I saw the pictures. You looked so beautiful. I don't know if you ladies saw their shirts even. The patterns were so complimentary. It was wonderful. This is a great question. Is anyone else in this same thing have a similar question than Samara? You're like, you've got people coming, you don't have a program yet, and you're like, what do I offer them? Okay, awesome. You're going to offer them 2 things. Just 2.
Okay.
So most people invest in a program for a very, they invest at a very simple level. They have a problem that they want solved. So what I'm hearing your clients are suffering with is feeling run down by shoulds. And what they're wanting is radiance, right?
Yeah.
So what I would recommend in your discovery session is you, in the O part of your grow conversation, the option, you're offering them one thing that will allow them to get out from under their should and get really curious about the should or their obligation, but really their life circumstance, what in their life is draining their energy. And you're going to give them one option, right? To bump up their radiance. And then your job in that grow conversation is to let them know that in order to create new habits, they're going to need support. And that's what you're offering them. Now, in your group program, imagine Are you wanting to do a group program?
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine you have all these different people who have all different kinds of shoulds, and they're all wanting some level of radiance. The first thing that you teach them or that you offer them is something that's on an entry level that everyone can relate to. So part of your job in your discovery sessions is to get really curious about what's the common denominator of those 18 discovery sessions. What's the common denominator? What is everyone saying is their biggest owie? And then your group program addresses that. Now, I'm making this sound really black and white and simple, ladies. The process is simple. The answers will not be simple because everybody's going to describe their should in a different way, right? Your job is to get so curious underneath that to find the core of what is the problem. And then address that problem, first of all. That makes sense? It's like when you go to the chiropractor and you're like, oh my God, my neck hurts and my hip hurts and my knee hurts, right? And you're like, okay, if we could address one of those issues, which pain would we address first? And they're like, low back, I can't sit at my desk anymore. I need to work. You would address that first. Even if you knew that like most people's neck pain causes their hip pains, you would still address the hip pain. And then in time with trust, show them it relates to their neck. Does that make sense?
Right.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Good. Great question. Big kiss for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Crush it. Crush it. Kia, you have a question. Do you have snow too?
It's melted by now. It's once again clear outside. Yeah.
Natural law. Snow comes, snow goes.
Very quickly where I am. Yeah. Yeah, I have a question. So when you were talking about, remind people a lot so that you're setting them up for success and not setting them up for feeling like they're not capable. That spoke to me mostly. So I have a former client who, by the way, took your advice and reached out to all my former clients.
Yeah.
And I got 2 referrals and one who was like, actually the first person who comes to mind is me. I really want to work with you again. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So that was cool.
And what did it take for you to reach out to all those clients? Because I remember giving that advice and you were like, what did you have to overcome to be like, hey guys, I'm in business. I got some.
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting story. I had my series of 6 talks booked back to back to back around the Bay Area, and I didn't have RSVPs for one of them, and I knew that the likelihood was it was going to be a no-show event. So I thought to myself, okay, I want to stay in the momentum of bringing in people and sort of doing something during those 2 hours. I'm going to show up at the space. I will be there in case anyone shows up. But what can I do to kind of not feel like I could work on anything, but I wanted to feel like I was actively enrolling people or at least moving in that direction. And so that's when I was like, okay, these 2 hours, I made my list of all the people I was going to get in touch with during those 2 hours. Ooh. And reach out so that I felt like I was actively bringing people back into my circle, even though it wasn't during in the talk form. And so I did. I blasted out all these emails. I shot out a couple text messages and got some really great responses back. And I ended the 2 hours feeling like it wasn't a failure or a total loss. It was like, look, I was very successful still during these 2 hours. It just was in a different way than I had originally planned.
That's really hot. Container, lady, container. So gorgeous. I have talked to so many of you ladies about creating office hours, right? Having 2 hours or 3 hours on a regular basis where you're working on your business. And it's similar to what Kia did in a different form. Like if you set out those hours, like I'm going to work on my business, and you do whatever you can and hold yourself accountable, that's better than trying to do that thing every day. Awesome. Okay. So back to your question. That was great.
Okay. So this client, I'd be super excited to work with her again. She's definitely one of my ideal clients. She also has lupus and is frequently kind of down with symptoms, you know, whether that's migraines or, you know, whatever. And so one of the things that we struggled with when we worked together the first time was her being able to be reliable and showing up for appointments when we had appointments and things like that. And
are these in-person appointments?
They were back then, they're not anymore. Okay. So it's definitely easier.
Yeah.
But so we were supposed to hop on the call yesterday as her enrollment call, and she didn't show up. And so I shot her a note, you know, are you okay? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I had you on my calendar. And she replied a few hours later. She goes, I'm just coming out of migraine right now. I'm so sorry. And so, you know, it's back to that whole, it's not really an excuse from her because it's debilitating, you know, she's in the moment, but I also want to somehow set it up so that she's still successful and feeling like she doesn't have those feelings of guilt afterwards. So what can I like arrange with her ahead of time of say, you know, how far in advance do I need to check in with you? Or, you know, like how do I make that feel good to her still?
So first of all, what would it feel good to you and value your time? If she can't make if any of your client can't make their session, how much in advance do you want to know?
It's so typically I ask people for a 24-hour notice, which is great. Yeah. And for her, I feel like she's not going to know 24 hours in advance if she's going to have a migraine today or not be able to get out of bed or, you know, that kind of thing. So I would like to be more flexible with her, but it is really frustrating on my end. I mean, I can't help but feel like, it's happened again, you know?
Yeah.
Every time it's happened.
Yeah. So here's the thing. A 100% of you taking care of you, she's taking 100% care of her, right? Mm-hmm. For you to lay out clearly what you need is most important so that she knows what she's moving within.
Okay.
So if you have a 24-hour cancellation policy and she doesn't know her symptoms arise, no problem, but she loses her session.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets to decide if her symptoms are so bad that she can't show up, which sometimes it sounds like that might be true, then she just loses the session. It's not a problem. Nobody needs to feel bad about it, right?
Yep.
Now, one of the things that you're going to set precedent for her and other clients is they might have to manage their life differently in order to have the chi to show up for that call.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they do everything right, if she gets a migraine, it's out of her control because migraines are like that. And so her baby's getting sick, right? Mm-hmm. All of our clients will lose sessions because something extraordinary has happened. And we, as coaches, we want to fall back on just like what we agreed to. Well, we agreed for a 24-hour cancellation policy. That's what we agreed to. It was clear. We both agreed to it. So I'm sorry you're going to lose that session. How can you set it up so this doesn't happen again?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if your client has something in their life that keeps them from missing their sessions, whether it's physical or family, and they just keep missing it, they may not be ready to make the change and grow that you're asking of them, right? It may be true.
I keep wondering if sometimes, because she does have a lot of resistance and she knows she has resistance, you know, she's aware of that.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if for her, if her resistance comes in the form of symptoms sometimes, because she knows she's going to have to deal with whatever, you know, she's going to be confronted with what is happening.
Yeah. See what the doc's doing? Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yep. So one of your superpowers as a coach is to get on the phone with her when she's well and name that with love.
Okay.
I'm noticing that migraines come in the way and get in the way of our work together. I'm curious if there's some resistance and that pressure and resistance in your body is causing this tension in your head. If that's true, how can we face that together?
Okay.
Right? Get on the same side of the fence with them, which I know that you're feeling in your heart, Kia, but you're just going to do it more visibly.
Yep.
Right? Part of the loyalty that we earn with our clients is not only when we're empathic and we feel their pain, but we get on the same side with them. And we're like, I feel your pain. This is what's getting you down every time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to help you face it and take baby steps towards breaking down that resistance so what you want becomes bigger. And one of the ways you're actually helping her is by holding those boundaries around how long those sessions are good for.
Okay.
When we hold strong boundaries with our clients, ladies, oftentimes we are the one that's giving them the push so that they actually pop. If your client misses 3 sessions because of migraines, she keeps doing that, that might be exactly the right time to bring it to her attention. And you may be the first one to be like, your resistance is coming in the form of migraine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, great question. Big kiss for you. And here's a caveat, because everything's everything and all things at once and vice versa. I've had clients who have really been struggling, right? That's why they come to me for support. And they will miss a session or some life circumstance really takes them out. I have often offered free sessions. I've often said, that's fine, you missed that one. You completely blew it. And I'll give them a second chance, right? Because some people, in some life circumstances, people need a second chance, right? They need some give, they need some generosity of presence from their coach. But you as a coach need to decide that. And if you're building up a lot of frustration and feeling guilty and over caretaking your clients, then that's not generous, right? That's something else. And that's a learning curve when you work with lots of people after a while. You're like, oh, I'm doing that thing again. I'm giving away my time. Or you're like, no. This client actually needs this extra time and buffer. I'm going to give that to them. And then I'm going to come back with strength and love. Be like, all right. I had a client like that and she fucking shined. So that was an F-bomb. Yeah. All right, Jill Stein. You have such a great smile. You look, you got your little
It's easy to smile. It's easy to smile when I'm listening to you.
Oh.
My question is quick. My concern is, so you've inspired me to do a group program. Awesome. And with the Facebook community, is there any concern over those first couple of people going in there and seeing that they're like the very first person signing up for my Facebook community? Do I need to seed that with maybe some friends or?
Why would there be people in there early? Because you're enrolling people and the program hasn't started yet? Kind of that kind of thing?
Well, yeah, as long as it's like I have the same concern over the meetups. Like when I started the meetups was, so when those very first people go in to sign up for a meetup, they're going to see that there's like nobody in there yet or nobody signed up for the event yet. So is that okay as I start inviting people to the group program and then those first couple people sign up for the group program and I send them the invitation to join the Facebook group? Is it okay if when they go, they see that, oh, wow, I'm the very first person in her Facebook group?
It's inevitable.
Okay.
That's an inevitable situation, right? However, right, when you have a party, there's always the first people who show up and not everyone.
Yeah.
You're like, so one thing, don't take too much responsibility for the people who show up early, because there's actually some people who like to show up early. I'm not one of them.
Okay.
But there are people like that. They want to be there early and they want to know where the bathroom is, where they can hang their coat, they're like that. Other people like to show up fashionably late. But here's something that you can do to engage those first clients, because that's what it's really about, right? If your clients are the first ones to enroll in your program, the first into Facebook, you want to engage them with some suspense of what's coming. So have that Facebook set up, right, with some things there for them. Maybe it's assignment. Maybe it's a questionnaire. Maybe it's information about your event, that they need to do some things so they can succeed when the program starts. But feed it as if you're nurturing it right along, and attend to it. So asking them a question, ask them to introduce themselves, right? Get them engaged, and always let them know that the program hasn't started yet. Welcome, welcome. We're starting when's your group program starting?
April.
Awesome. Let them know it's starting in April. And these are the things that they need to do before then. Yeah?
Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Great question. What is your group program?
I'm going to do, because of the timing, and you said 2 to 3 months. So if I can start it in April, I'm going to do a 4-month program, and it's going to be about leveraging the new relationships they're making during wedding season. Because I have so much I can teach about what to do when they go do a wedding and meet new people, and how to make sure all those people grow their business over the next year.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Beautiful. You know, some of your businesses are like, have more potential for group programs than others. And Jill, what you're doing around the whole networking piece, and all the different ways that wedding planners and flower designers and photographers like overlap. Like a group program is a rich field for them. So I really love it. And the leveraging piece is huge.
Yes.
Awesome.
Excited. Then I can do it again in the fall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Big kiss for you. Wow, that is a big cat, Nina. Woo! Happy kitten. Love it. Hi, Yvonne. Welcome to the call.
Hi, Serena. Hi, everybody. Marit and Ime, my German friends.
Wow, you got their pronunciations of their names down so skillfully.
They've coached me. I just had a thought about something Jill said or asked, and then I have my own question. For the private Facebook page, for my private Facebook page for my group program, I've taken to putting a colorful box, just like we see on our ELA page, you know, the call to action, you know, just creating something simply in Canva with an invitation on it. And it just occurred to me, Jill, that maybe putting something like that out there to greet your first member might be something nice. So that's
Yvonne.
That's just an idea. My question is about meetups. I know some other people, Carol Berg in particular, have used meetups in the past, and I'm a novice at Meetup. So how does it work? How would that work if I wanted to set up some signature talks, if I could find a venue to host me for free? How would I use meetups?
Awesome. Have you been to meetup.com or any meetup groups yet?
I have not.
Okay, so that's the first thing I recommend is do some research. So if you go to meetup.com, you will find all the different meetups in your area. So one of the things you would do is do some research. You're in well-being, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I would look up meetup groups in well-being, and then I would go to some and see which groups resonate with you.
Okay.
And meet and greet. Hi, I'm Yvonne. I'm in this industry too. This is what I have to offer. What are you guys up to? And then when you find a group that you resonate with, then you can approach them for a win-win situation.
Okay.
A win-win situation would look like, I would love to come speak at your group and offer a free gift. My free gift is this. I could see how it would benefit your people in this group because of X, Y, or Z.
Mm-hmm.
And in exchange, I would love to tell my people about your meetup group. It looks like you could use a few more people here at the meetup group. Mm-hmm. And then you would, after you promote yourself at their talk, you would invite people there to come.
Okay. All right. At any point, is it possible for me to set up a specific meetup group?
Yes. Right. So that's another step. So what I recommend your first step be is go to meetup groups and see what they're like, and see, you know, get a flavor of what they are, because a meetup group is essentially a signature talk that happens over and over and over again, right? Mm-hmm. And it's also a place for you to create a platform where not only are you delivering your signature talk, you're teaching, you're telling your story, but you also have a platform now to invite other speakers to come speak at your meetup. Now that's valuable too, right? Because once you create a platform, other people will come to you and they'll want to speak and offer free gifts, and then you can start sussing out and getting affiliate partners that way. Now, the thing that meetup groups are not traditionally known for is for making offers. Meetups are about meeting other people, like-minded people, sharing information, networking. It's not really a lot about selling. And here's the thing. We have a meetup group that we've been hosting for Women Rocking Business, and we're actually having ours on Thursday. If any of you are in the Bay Area want to come see how we do it, Sage and I are doing one on storytelling this Thursday evening at 7 at the Pacific Cultural Center. Are any of you interested in coming to that who are in Santa Cruz? Yeah? Awesome. Carol, great. I know a lot of you aren't in town. And we do make an offer at the end. It's not a paid offer. It's an offer to come to something else with us. So often we'll offer discovery sessions, right? Business breakthrough sessions to help people. And from there, we'll invite them either into our program or into our events. So we do offer a free gift, but we don't recommend you make a paid offer. In other words, I have a program, it's this much money, because that's not the spirit of Meetup. Does that make sense?
Yes, but it would be okay to offer a discovery session.
Yeah, and what we've noticed is that what can be skillful is if you have multiple meetups where you don't make an offer, like every 3 or 4 is when you offer your discovery session.
Ah, okay.
It's not something that happens every time.
Okay.
And so, as you can imagine, setting up your own meetup, Yvonne, is a funnel, right? It's a place for people to meet you whenever you're out and about, right? And people are like, what are you up to? You're like, oh my God, I started this new meetup group. And we meet every Wednesday. So it's a great way to have people keep coming into your world. And it's also something that you will need to devote your time and energy to, right? Because like Jill was just saying, right? When you start a meetup group or a Facebook group and you're just gathering people there, the thing that keeps people coming is you. Is you being you, is you teaching your expertise, is you being excited about what you do. So a meetup funnel is going to take your love to keep it going. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, but I'm kind of up for that.
Nice.
Thank you.
We've had success with our meetup group. We started, someone asked this question. We started ours as a lunch group, and then we moved it to an evening group. We did it once a week, then we went down to once a month. Now we're 3 times a year. So one of the benefits of a meetup group too is you can start doing it, and you can modify it depending on your group. Great question. Yvonne, let us know how it goes. Let's give you a big kiss. I want to say one more thing, and then Claire's got some announcements before we wrap up. There was a question on the Facebook page that struck me that might be a really good teaching for everyone. And oh my God, I can't remember who asked it. Maybe it was you, Carol. It was a question about, you made an offer for a program and the woman you were speaking to wanted a brochure to show her husband. Is that right? Okay, awesome. Has this happened to anyone else? Someone wants a brochure or something like that? Okay. That's weird. And because here's the thing, that's way more work than you should be doing. What they're really asking is, or what they're really saying is, I love everything you said, but when I go talk to my husband, he's going to need something on paper. That's what they're saying. And that's the masculine. The masculine wants to see it on paper. And what he also wants to know are the results, because men are result orientated. So what you can do, and what I recommend you all do, is you have some kind of document that documents very simply what your program is. What it is, what they get, what are the results that are possible, and the payment information. And you just have that. So when they say, I need a brochure, whatever, you're like, great, I have an outline of my program that has all those things on it. I'm going to send it to you so you can talk to your husband. And if they're in that situation, follow it up. Without a doubt, ladies, can I support you to have that conversation with your husband? Because clearly they're in a dynamic where they need their partner's permission, who is a man person, who doesn't think like a woman person. And that kind of conversation can go sideways if the woman shows up with, I really, really, really want it. And I don't know why. I really like Carol. She's like amazing. And I kind of want to be like her. And I just, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life right now. Like if they do that, their husband's just going to be like, yeah, that's what you said about the last thing you did. You really want to coach that client, if they're willing, into going to their husband with structure and results. This program is a 3-month. We're going to learn these things, and these are the results that are possible. Those conversations will go a lot better for them with their partners that way. But always get permission before you do that. Does that make sense? Carol, you want to unmute yourself?
Sorry, I missed something. Permission from whom?
Permission from the client that you're speaking to. You always want permission from them when you ask them to coach them with their husband or their partner. You always want to ask permission. Can I help you with that conversation?
Okay.
Right? You might even ask them, how do you feel about having that conversation with your husband? Or do you and your husband share money, or do you have money of your own?
Okay.
Right? Because clearly they're going to someone else for the permission slip, right? And that's totally valid, but you want to ask them permission before you launch into like, can I help you with that? I've got all the answers.
That's exactly what happened. She needed to talk to her husband and wanted to take him a brochure.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yeah.
Yeah, so just get really, it's a time to take a breath and sit back and like that's where the conversation really starts, Carol, in the discovery session. Sit back and be like, I hear that your husband needs to see what this program entails. I'm curious about that. Would you be willing to talk to me about that for a minute? Right? Because just because their husband has the veto power doesn't mean he can't get on board. She may just never have enrolled him before. And since you know about enrollment, you're going to support her to have an enrollment conversation with him. What I want, what's in the way, this option that I have to do it, and the results I'm going to get from it. Much more likely to get him on board. Okay? Awesome. If you have more questions about that, please post on Facebook a fresh post. Not the post that you asked before, posted, Carol, but fresh post at the top. If you have more questions about this, I'll be happy to go into it more deeply. We actually...
No? Yeah. Okay.
Will you post it again today? Because I want to get to announcements. Thank you so much. So Claire's going to go to some announcements, and I'm going to go over to the Facebook page and see if anybody posted. So Claire, give me a minute at the end, and let's hear from you. What else you got?
All right, ladies. So we have what was seeded by the amazing Serena Andrea. We have our next meetup coming up on Thursday the 7th. So make sure you invite your friends, and here's why. When you bring a friend, you actually get bring a friend credit as your referral. That counts in the bring a friend game. And all the information is in our page. And if you have any more questions, you can always email support. And it's going to be on storytelling, which, Serena is pretty amazing at. So you want to go see that. And the other announcement is that we have a brand spanking new video that is for the Bring a Friend campaign that you can post on your pages, post on Facebook, and I'm going to share this right now. We're going to check it out.
I can't hear anything. Can anybody else hear anything?
I can't hear it either. Claire, you got volume? She's working on it. Claire, we can't hear. This girl is on fire. Well, if she can't get up the volume, this is great incentive to go over and bump it up and listen to it so you can hear what's going on, because it looks like volume is our issue. Awesome. So Claire, where is, oh, look at this. She's saying so many incredible things right now. She's obviously sharing from her heart. Love it. Whenever I see these videos, I'm always looking for myself. I'm like, am I in there? Am I picking my nose? What's happening? Oh, yay. Did you know you were in this, Sarah?
No.
Wow.
No.
Beautiful. Those testimonials that happen during retreat, we actually use some of those. That's awesome. So Claire, will you post the URL on the Facebook page? Awesome.
Totally, I can. And were you ladies not able to hear the sound?
No.
Oh, how interesting. Well, then that's Wapacha.
That's awesome. So that video you're saying they can use in their outreach. They can post them on their Facebook page with sound and get people excited about the event.
I could hear the sound, but apparently you ladies couldn't. So that's great.
That was a one-woman show.
One-woman show. All right. And so I just want to give a couple of shout outs to a few of the ladies that are just playing so hard and Bring a Friend, and that's Jill Clarkson, Sarah Coolidge, Kara Wampler, Lisa, Rachel Cooley, Tammy, and you ladies are going for it. And I just would love to see a show of hands for who's going for 3 friends that they can come to the profitable group programs and get it done little VIP day with our amazing stage and straight. And a show of hands, who's going for 3 friends they can bring. Yes, I love it. I love it. And, you know, if anybody needs help recruiting a friend, you know, you can always post on Facebook. That's an option too, that you have a few tickets and ask your Facebook friends. You know, this is just enrollment at its best, where you can ask them and message them. Yeah.
That's a great idea. People love tickets, right? Especially from the old school like me. Like, you used to get tickets to go things. It wasn't virtual. So if you say I have tickets, that's really alluring. I love it. Love it. I was also going to say that if you are considering doing a group program and you really want to wrap your mind around what that would look like, if you've said yes to leverage and are planning on doing a group program, the gift that Sage and I are offering as a bonus for the Bring a Friend is that we are going to help you dial in your message and get you a mini plan so that you can begin working on that group program before leverage even starts. So that is a highly valuable ticket. Ticket. The other thing I wanted to say, I'm sorry, Claire, did I cut you off? Was there more?
Complete.
Awesome. Thank you, Claire. Big kiss for you. I also want to say how mind blown I am away by the women here who have posted their funnels. Tammy and Sarah, Jill and Kia, Rebecca, Yvonne, Lisa, and Carol. And it looks like people are still typing your 5 funnels up on this post. Super hot. The clarity and conciseness of what you are posting is super key. And I want to suggest that you take a Post-it out and you write down your 5 funnels and you post it next to your computer. When you, in times of overwhelm, how good would it feel to look at your Post-it and be like, am I tending to this, to getting these people here? What am I doing? All the things I'm doing. Oh, these 5 funnels. This is what my business is about. That can keep you out of so much overwhelm, can help you stay focused. and can remind you that those are the things that actually bring you clients. Worrying, fearing, distracting, overeating chocolate, those things aren't on the list. And those actually won't help you grow your business. It's just funnels. It's that simple, funnels. And what I know is true is that if you keep attending to these funnels day after day, week after week, making small baby steps, this is how you get to your big why. To what you really want is the baby steps. Slow change is permanent change. So congratulations for all those who posted. If you haven't posted, post them up there. And if you posted up there, go ahead and give some love to the other girls that posted, because that, you know, it's a small posted, but 5 funnels is, you know, it's chewing off something significant. So give some love up there. Also, ladies, please stay on the page and be active. Claire, Shannon, and I are combing the pages daily, and I'm noticing that some of you aren't posting questions. You're not getting coached in between your coaching sessions. And I want to say, it's not over yet. We are still here for you. If you've used all of your coaching sessions, guess what? You can have some more. We have a special package if you want more coaching sessions. If you haven't used your 6 yet, we're waiting for you. I've got open slots for the next 3 weeks. I don't know where y'all are, but I'm here, ready to support you and eat chocolate with you if you need to. Lastly, if you are stuck because you think you're not worth it, because you're tired, because you're confused, because you've been shrouded in shame because something didn't work, this is the perfect time to reach out. There is nothing that any of you have done or haven't done that needs to stop you forever. So if you're feeling stuck, confused, you're beating yourself up in shame because something didn't go right, it's the time to reach out. This is a fabulous group. When one woman posts, there's like 17 comments, and the coaches are not the only one giving really good business advice. It's coming from all of you, like Yvonne demonstrated today. This is a group of leaders. So get yourself unstuck in February so that you feel so much better in March. That completes our call for today. An honor as always to be with you. Hopefully what I have learned through my own mistakes is beneficial to all of you ladies. And you ladies are rocking it. Holiday haze is over. It's time to go get your next paying client. So let's unmute the lines in 3 and wish each other well and a big wahoo. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll see you next week on the Q&A. Bring your questions. Go!
Love you all.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Get unstuck. Reach out. We're here for you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye, ladies.
Thanks, Serena. Thanks, Claire.
Bye for now.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.